Welcome back guys to Case Online. Today we will be discussing Nexus Anticheat, what it ends, what's the difference between free and paid, and what's the difference from Matrix and the Nexus. So first off, Matrix is, and Nexus hasn't released yet. This is early access, thanks to Dr. Hex for giving me some of the modules. But the main difference from Nexus and Matrix is one. This is only an example. Overall, everything is better. Anti-X-ray algorithm. Instead of anti-X-ray encryption, they are using data based on X-ray system. And comprehensive anti-X-ray detection is adopted to significantly limit unfair advantages brought from X-ray player. Anticheat will automatically ban suspicious players. So if you try and understand it, the gist of it is basically, instead of encrypting everything, it uses data and data detection to get they use significantly less system resources. Useless checks are removed because in the anti-cheat there are useless checks, Matrix anti-cheat, and they do use a special analytic event that apparently to reduce repeated call-in effects on tick per second. And enforced anti-cheat detection and lower false positives. Nexus will use a more advanced detection. Also, keep in mind, Dr. Hex and Jason did make this, but Nexus will use a more advanced detection. Credits to Hex here. Hex is like the best anti-cheat developer all time. For example, anti-chess dealer, which can detect chess dealer by like 0.1 millisecond. Okay, not that much. Anti-dupe A. There are several other anti-dupes, and the free version and anti-fly that can combat with Lumina Fly and BDS Fly. They're using chat commands instead of slash commands because slash commands have a large limit on handling the types. A chat command handler will allow them to use it easily and is closed source instead of open source. The reasoning isn't they're just hiding the great stuff. It's so it doesn't get bypassed easily. But we'll see how easy it is to literally get the source code, or at least code, once it releases. And then this is one they brag about a lot. Not saying bad brag, they have a right. This is actually very good. Matrix anti-cheat versus Nexus anti-cheat. Matrix anti-cheat, it could detect 3.5 distance, and it had lower sensitivity and inaccurate calculation. Complicated situation. Although no false positives, Nexus free anti-reach, including Killara D, is very simple, but yet it's effective. It can detect 3 to 4 block reach and minimum 2-dimensional. It's dynamic limit based off hitboxes. However, it does not work for 3-dimensional. Again, I'll have to ask Hex on 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional answer. And it doesn't have loss of accuracy detection. But the Nexus paid anti-cheat, which is developed by Hex and Jason, I think, can detect accuracy of 3.01 block reach. It's 3-dimensional and it has high accuracy of hitbox. So that's the main thing. Overall for Nexus, it's able to stop EDS fly and it's able to stop no slow. And the detections, I'll put this on screen. Anyways, as you see, this is the detections list. It includes, so this is the first page. Thank you to Hex for giving this. It can detect block reach, scaffold, invalid placing, invalid breaking, nuker, auto totem, chest dealer, interactive reach, chest aura, placing block aura, place auto clicker, block aura. That's world modules. And then the command modules, it can detect this aim not, but that has a certain level of accuracy. Hitbox, reach, breach, swap cooldown, kill aura, and combat auto clicker. And the movement modules it can get is fly. This includes BDS fly. Also, keep in mind, Floppy's a better developer than Mario. Mario's more like a crash fixer. It can also stop. Okay, so movement modules fly. It can stop blink, which is when it stops sending packets and then sends them all at once, which can make it seem like you're teleporting. It can stop no slow. It can stop no clipping, and it can stop interval. For admin panels, you can see stuff like commands, muting, and system, and there's utility. That's page 1. Okay, guys, so this should be about page 2 of the detection list, and so it can stop ESP by making non-visible entities invisible, but this could make it so entities are invisible when they're not supposed to be, but we can't tell now. It can stop duplication A and duplication B in C and D and E. I think those are paid. B is for lumen dupe. Get point. It's able to stop name spoofing because we all know that these multiplayer worlds, what they basically do is you can spoof your name because they're actually cracked. Mojang doesn't want to authenticate each one of these. However, it doesn't work that well. It does work better for realms, but no, that requires authentication. It can stop ghost and durability editor. Durability editor is work, and it can stop force op from like on offline servers person joining as your operator, I think. For world modules, once again, it can stop all of this stuff. We already went over this, so yeah. Anyway, guys, right here is a clip from Dr. Hex showing how BDS Fly is patched by Nexus. Also, this stops air jump since BDS Fly uses air jump. Anyways, guys, right here is a clip showing how no slow being patched. No slow is when you don't get slowed down from like eating, and this shows no slow being patched. Anyways, guys, now we are going to discuss Nexus paid versus free. We're going to start with Reach, or specifically Barian Reach. However, similar clients behave similarly, so you should detect them too. So free version, which is made by Jason Laub, is good, but Hex is better. Is 3-4 block reach. It can do dynamic lay limit based off hitboxes. And paid can detect as little as 0.01 more, 3.01 block reach. However, even though it shouldn't have false positives, you still shouldn't do that much reach. It's 3-dimensional and it's higher accuracy based on hitboxes. And we will show a clip in I will show a clip in a second of paid reach detection. Here, guys, is an example of the paid reach detection. It's detecting from like barely any reach. So as you can see, it's pretty good. Next, guys, we have free scaffold versus paid scaffold. This is another example. Of course, even free Nexus is better than Matrix. So, free scaffold detects turning behavior while bridging. It can detect if crossing doesn't match bridging, and it can detect if the client does not move packet place while scaffolding, because like packets could just place in somewhere. And paid version can detect for any auto bridge behavior instantly, which this version is made by Hex, and it includes all detection that free version has. Here, guys, is a showcase of free Nexus scaffold detection, and it can detect pretty well. Here, guys, is an example of the paid reach detection, and as you can see, it can detect almost instantly and correct your position. So here is some more information. There will be an anti-ESP that can stop USBing for mobs by making mobs invisible. Though that if you can't see them, though it doesn't work that well because most people will be ESPing for players, but still works. It still works. Also, the default prefix for the chat command will be an exclamation mark. They also, instead of anti-X-ray encryption, once again I already mentioned this, they are going to use anti-X-ray data analysis. There will be a showcase video for free and paid upon release. There's also a global banning system. Now this is very interesting. The global banning system will be where, let's say there's one world using Nexus. The world using Nexus, if someone gets banned on it for like, let's say 7 days because they were hacking, they can get banned on another server. Though this should be toggleable, I think. And also the paid version will, instead of, okay, so basically this, unlike Matrix, so to stop people from getting the code and editing and stuff, unlike Matrix anti-cheat, the behavior isn't running internally. This is an external anti-cheat. Get this, external. Meaning when you join with Nexus, basically, you either choose free or you can put in a paid product key. You see there's a paid product key. They're very long. I think you can use it for multiple times, and I think there's some kind of DRM. There's all rights management. And on top of that, the checks will be done externally through an external server, I think. Please keep in mind this may be open for changing, but overall that is what it is. However, it would be more performance-wise to run it on this internally. This will stop hack developers from just decompiling and reading the code. Like, they'd have to hack whatever server or the machines of Hex or JSON to log in, which is why the only way they can bypass is with predictions. So yeah, though I do think paid people should be able to run like more performance-wise internally. Actually, no, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Credits where credits due. Thank you for Hex and Jason for all of these clips. Thank you for Hex and Jason for making the mod. Keep in mind this mod hasn't released yet. Thank you to Hex for giving me a list of current, not finished, but at the moment of this video, all of the modules. Thank you CapCut and HighPick for the video editing and photo editing. What else? That should be about it. Also, you should join the Discord server, as I will be making another video probably when this releases, but for updates on its progress, you do need to join the Discord server. Yeah.